Hey there, welcome back to the table. I've been having some issues with the video, so forgive me here as I'm testing it out. Um, I got some feedback from that last video, and I don't have the battlefield in front of me, but if you recall, the ranger was down, and then these were the enemies, I believe, and the cleric was here, and I don't think it, or maybe the enemies were like this. That's actually more, I think, like it. Oh, actually, and then what happened was um, this enemy moved to there and was up against the rogue because I made a mistake initially, and now I had to retcon the cleric's move, and I think the rogue was here, and so the cleric did something to the order of, one, two, I moved it around a bit, and then I ended up finishing, I believe, there. So the reason I did that was I was trying to unlock this skill. Oh, forgive me, I gotta pick something up I dropped. So I was trying to unlock this skill right here, which says, oh, that's the wrong one. I gotta grab the other one. In a combat turn, heal at least 3 and move at least 4 squares from where you started. Okay, so that's the issue, is I failed middle school comprehension skills there, and I moved 4 spaces, but I didn't move 4 spaces from where I started. So thank you, JB, for catching that. And so the retcon for that would be really difficult to do. I think this is one of those things where you just gotta accept it. But here, let me comment about it. The issue is, in order to move 4 spaces from where I started, I would have had to go a lot further than what I did. So I don't remember the exact number of spaces, but it is possible I may have been able to move here. I'm just not sure. But the outcome, though, is I wouldn't have been able to heal the rogue, which is one of the heal actions I did to get to my 3 heals. However, I did heal the cleric, and the cleric had more than 3 damage, so it does not matter. Like, even though I wouldn't have been able to heal this person had more than 3 damage, so that outcome doesn't change. The only issue is in order to move 4 spaces away, I would have no longer been next to her, so I couldn't have healed her. But the other possible outcome is I may not be next to this monster here, and the cleric actually took a swing and did damage. So it's possible that damage would not have been on the monster, and that monster would have lived a little bit longer. But I have to stress a little bit, because I absolutely would have been able to still unlock the skill, because I would have been able to move 4 spaces away. I would have been able to heal 3. It just wouldn't have been, the rogue. So the skill would have been unlocked, and when the skill was unlocked, this person was able to stand up, because that was the whole reason we did that skill. And so yeah, I backed up 2 spaces, and then I shot, bing and bing. I think I took 2 of them out, and then at some point I think the rogue came in and finished it off easy peasy. So this guy never activated, if you recall, and this rogue, even though it would have had less health, it never got hit, and it was able to come and finish this off in just 1 action. And we had 2 actions. So I think the outcome was still going to be the same, but I just wanted people to understand that because I misunderstood the unlocking of that skill, it would have forced me to move 4 spaces, because the primary goal was to heal this person. And moving the 4 spaces was necessary, and that may have prevented me from healing this one and attacking that one. This is the one I'm not as sure about. I probably should have pulled up the video and looked at it. Well, you know what? It's uploaded to YouTube. I'm going to pause and I'll check real quick. Let's see. Okay, I know this is a little crazy, but we're going to look at the computer that I'm actually recording this video from. And here we go. So I hope you can see the screen just fine. But the cleric was standing right here, next to the mage, and the cleric moved through the mage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, the cleric moved 4 spaces away, JB. I don't know what you're getting at here. The cleric was standing here. That mage is 1. This is 2 to be in front of this guy. 3 to be in front of this guy. And then 4. Let me back it up a little bit. Yeah. See, I had to retcon things, so that's the problem. I had to retcon things, so I'm going to back up a little bit more. Oh, maybe that's the issue. The cleric started there, not there. There it is. Okay, so the cleric is here. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. So the cleric is here and had to go 1 away, 2, 3 through him, and then 4 to here. But in all honesty, the cleric was only 2 spaces away from where he started. So he would have had to go... Of course, I moved everything. So I'm going to pause it. Okay, so the cleric was here in front of this guy. Oops, sorry. Here in front of this guy. So he went 1 away from the screen, 2 to be next to this guy, then 3 to go through the rogue, and he went 4 to here to heal the rogue and also to attack this thing. In order for him to trigger the skill, he would have to go 4 and go to here, which would have been actually next to the rogue, but not next to the thing. So, but also bear in mind that this hero, we had to retcon this, and he ended up moving out of the way. So, let's fast forward to when I'm retconning this now. I had to retcon this. Give me a second. That's when I killed everything. I'm going to zoom out a little bit for you because I know my hand is shaky. Alright, so bottom line is, after looking at it, first of all, JB was right. And then secondly, I actually would have been able to heal him. I just wouldn't have been able to hurt this one, but I still don't think it would have been an issue. So anyways, I hope that, I know it's one of the clear as mud moments, but it's one of those deals where I just want people to know and understand what happened and make sure I got it right. The other thing is that there was a kick action. I apparently did the kick action for the boss, but the kick action doesn't trigger because both of his feet were injured. And so, if anything, I ended up attacking myself when I wasn't supposed to. So, that's another thing to keep in mind. So, I don't always misappropriately use the rules in my favor. I do it, I'm an equal opportunity, don't use the rules properly kind of person. Alright, so we're here. We need to go back to Fellsworn Village to hand in our goal. We did fully rest, which means that we should have drawn a day token. I don't think I drew the day token, so I'm just going to draw the next one. These don't do anything anymore because it's not the first time. And then I'm just going to shuffle the travel deck because that's what happens when you rest. Everybody's skills should be fully refreshed. And I just have a knapsack that needs to be replenished in Fellsworn. It's the one that's the koi fish guy who replenishes them for free. And yeah, here we go. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut through the woods to go here. And oh my gosh, that's actually one of the nothing happens ones. Then we'll go ahead and cut through the fields to get to there. And there is a large cart there. So NPC 41 or draw again. And I thought I had NPC. Yep, NPC 41 is out. It is this guy. I mean, I have him out, but we haven't been told to update him yet because of bandits. But I just defeated the bandits, so maybe I still gotta go to Felsworn Village and take care of business there. But anyways, let's see. I do that, or I can discard and draw again. Well, of course I'm going to talk to the broken cart guy because I don't want to draw again. And then we're going to go ahead and go along the road. The road, there's a small crowd gathered by the side of the road, so I got to get event. Can't read this nonsense. 203. Sometimes I can read it through the camera better than I can. 203. Oh, I know some of it is my eyes. I'm sure when I was younger, I could have handled that no problem. Okay, so event 203. I definitely struggle with it now, though. Even when I started this channel, I mean, I started this channel like 7 years ago. And maybe, yeah, 7 years ago. And, yeah. My eyes were a lot better 7 years ago. Alright, here we go. Small crowd. A loud cheer comes from the crowd as you approach, but you can't quite see why. Drawing closer, you see they're gathered around a small table. A halfling is sitting on one side. Anyone dare to challenge the arm wrestling king? The crowd pushes you forward and you find yourself sitting across from a muscular halfling woman. She flexes her tiny arms. You think you can beat me? Show me the wager. No, or if you have no money to bet, wager. You can bet 1 to 10 near this card and then flip the card. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Do I dare go all in? I'm going all in. I'm going to bet 10. So, oh my gosh, I need 30? No. I should have only bet 1. That was not smart. I'm going to solo. It's solo game. What is it? 18B, 42B, Rule 42B on Will Wheaton's show. Oh my gosh, you grip the halfling's hand and the match begins. You need to get a strength 30. Yeah, I should have just bet 1. I'm sorry. I know that I'm looking poor. I'm going to just spend 1 money. I'm not even going to roll. I mean, I can't get 30. So I'm just going to spend 1 because that was the smart thing to do. I thought this was at least going to be something reasonable to strive for. That is not reasonable to strive for. So, anyways, I'm going to leave that event out. Just because we're going to possibly get that one again. And yeah, I lost $1 for my troubles. And I know I said 10. I know what I said. And I'm not lying or anything about it. I am totally retconning it because it's my solo game, dang it. 10 would have devastated me. I think my biggest thing is if it was a reasonable number, I actually have skills that let me add to my dice roll. I have, all kinds of options. And even the cleric has the ability to boost my dice roll. So, like, even if I needed a 20, I was going to go for it. Because a 20 was doable. But not 30. I'm not even going to bother rolling. I mean, it's just, it's a complete waste of time. Oh, actually, I do roll, because if I get a natural 20, I would actually win. Oh my gosh, it's only a 1 in 20 chance. And I almost got it. I got a 16, see? So with that 16, I can use my skill to add 1 or 2 more. Which, probably would get me to 17. I don't think I would get the 2 more. Actually, the 2 more is within reach. So let's say I do 2 more. That gets me to 18. And then I can use my RPG point to make it 21. That's nowhere near 30. So I would have needed that nat 20. That's the only way. I'm going to lose 1 money. If I knew how to edit my videos, and I don't, I would go back and just take that out. But I will live in my cone of shame. Thank you for your time. All right, let's keep going. All right, the last one, we are fine. So now we're back in Felsworn. First thing we're going to do is we're going to hand in this job. It's going to give us $4, but I'm going to roll a charisma roll for the rogue. And I rolled a 10. And the charisma is 2. That puts us to 12. I would need a 20 to get a +2 money. But 12 is enough for a +1. And so I'm going to take these 4. And I'm actually going to throw them in the bank. And grab another 5er. Like this. And yeah, I would have been bankrupt. Alright, so this job is done. And claim the reward, and then basically it's banish the card. Alright, and then we have to grab another job. And we have 2. We have the Singing Roads, which we haven't found yet, but I have, or Singing Reeds, I mean. We haven't found it yet, but I'm getting the suspicion, because we got this job here at Eastgate, that it's right here. And then the Force of Nature, I'm thinking is there. I don't know which one is the better move. The Singing Reeds is a collection quest, so you just have to go there and do an intelligence check, and you can get up to $3. So it's another nice way to get some money. I don't know where either one is. This one for sure is a combat. And unless I get another quest, I'm going to choose the Force of Nature. Let's try that one, because I'm pretty convinced it's there. So we're going to finally explore that. And then we got other things to do. We have the herbologist here, right? So she says we have the boxes of herbs. It says my shipment of herbs. And somewhere in here, they're bringing a shipment of herbs. That's not the same as my shipment of herbs. Right here, my shipment of herbs. Okay, so that's where it says it. And so we're going to draw event 9. And I'm pretty sure the NPC is going to be updated because of this, and maybe other things will update as well. Maybe we'll get an experience point out of this. You know what? We're probably going to get one of those doohickeys that we're supposed to get that we haven't been getting. We only got one of so far. All right, so here we go. He sounds like a real rascal. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up again. I'll have to hire some security for the next shipment. Well, I guess I was wrong. You really aren't as useless as you look. She produces a small wooden coin and glass potion labeled Allah's herbs. She proceeds to unlock the boxes, placing herbs of all kinds out on display. So we're going to add job 10 to the deck, and that might actually be the job we're going to take, because I'm guessing that's the protect her shipment. Tonics and herbs. Have an unbroken path of roads to the goal. Build the cart deck with 5 random copies of those. Shuffle, place them face down, and then travel to Keepwick Town. We never found Keepwick Town, so that's not... Keepwick Town is somewhere. Alright, so we're just going to hold on to this job. We'll come back to that one later. All these locations that we've never even found yet. Alright, and then key 13 is trash, which I believe is this one, right? Yep. So we trash that one. I just got to make sure I'm putting it in the right box. And then NPC 11 goes to B. So this NPC, we need to upgrade to B. So I'm just going to bring him closer so it's not so hard to... Alright, and then I'm assuming NPC 11A is done. I think that's a good assumption. Yep, it is. Alright, so then we got a new NPC. We'll read that in a second. And then it says SML4 goes to B. Oh, small. The map. That's an interesting one. So SML4 A is no longer active. So I'm going to put it in the inactive section. And I got to find SML4B, which is a little difficult to find. Give me a second. There it is. Alright, so this one we'll look at real quick. So it's the new apothecary. It was updated. Oh, I mean, I gotta give it's silly, but the designer gets some credit here. See, all the boxes are now full of goods, whereas before they were empty. That's all that changed. There's another. I had to pull out another card just to update that. I mean, it's the detail is there. I mean, it was totally unnecessary for me, but it's there. Okay, but we're not done. We got a point of interest 6 that goes to B. Now that's an interesting one. What's point of interest 6? I have 7. I have 1. Looks like I put that one away. So let me see if I can grab that. That was the thatched house where there was no response. You remember that? So that one is now inactive because B is now active. And so now thatched house potentially has somebody in it. So we're going to keep that out. And then we gain DOS2 and DOS T23 from the dossier. And then keep this card as a squill. That's the word I was looking for. So we got ourselves our second squill. And remember, that number doesn't mean 3. It just counts as 1. But it's the third squill when you're looking at all the squills that can be had. I have number 2 and number 3 so far. I don't know where number 1 is, but apparently it has eluded me. And my apologies. I was supposed to read this side first. I'll let you pause and read it if you need to. And then it was just flavor. But yeah, so we got ourselves a second squill. But before I do that, I got to get DOS2 and DOS T23 out. And it says from the dossier. Okay, I think it's this. Alright, so we got all of these and DOS2 and DOS T23. I see T21 to T23 is right here. So let's grab that one. Guess I gotta push it from behind. T23 right here. Here we go. Not useless. That's a title. Alright, fair enough. I got the not useless title. And then the DOS2 is right here. And we got ourselves Halus Potion, which is another healing potion. It does cost money to replenish, which the other ones do too, but it's nice to have more potions though, because we do have the our potions have the added ability of revitalizing your stamina as well. So I gotta give that to somebody. I'm thinking I can still give it to the cleric. The rogue could use an item. I'm gonna give it to the cleric. Initially I wanted to give the other one to the cleric, but now that I have 2 potion bags, I'm totally cool with that. Also, the koi is in this town. It's a free refresh in the inn or whatever that we went downstairs and killed the rats. So I'm going to refresh that. And now we got another NPC and then a point of interest. We're going to do the NPC first. My shop can now operate normally. What can I do for you? Did you try drinking that potion I gave you? So we're going to ask about the potion. The cleric does need his RPG cube, so his role-playing one. So let me top that off for you. If you come back tomorrow, you can have another refill. So Howl's potion with markers. You may take this action once per day. Perfect. So now we can use those potions pretty liberally, and once per day we can come back to Felsworn and replenish those. Only so many times I can tell you my thanks. So hot-headed, can never agree on anything. It's that halfling, he's the real trouble. Erky was his name. I asked our warden, Gray. She saw a red-headed halfling around here earlier. Gray thought he was in exile. I guess with you lot, it's a bit of a mixed bag, eh? Alright, so we get our RPG cube. Done. And I am still going to keep her out. She replenishes the potion. Just like the other guy replenishes the koi. Although technically the koi guy I don't have out anymore. It gets to be a bit much to keep track of. All these people. But we'll do our best. So here we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put this away. It's active now. Side B. Okay, done. And I was really hoping to get one more experience point, because then we could level up. You're standing before a small shack. There's a sign painted of a ferry with a man punting. The door is closed. Sign reads knock for service. Sounds like someone is talking on the other side. So we're going to listen first, and then we're going to knock. Where could he be? I told him he wasn't cut out for adventure. I hope he's just lost and the Kiro didn't get him. There's a loud sigh and the voice trails off into silence. So we're going to go ahead and knock. The RP point is wasted. And man opens the hatch and looks at you. Exiles, eh? How many squills have you earned? If you have less than 3 squills, go away. We do. We have less than 3. Otherwise, we're going to come on in. And so we're just going to... so eventually, SML 7 would get unlocked. And that's basically we would go inside the building and see what's in there. So he's finally around. It's better than nobody being home. And I'm going to put this all the way up here near the top. A lot of cards I got to keep track of, but I would rather not put it away. So yeah, we need 3 squills before we talk to him. And then it becomes, okay, what do we do next? So remember, the outcropping of white stones. I have to find a card with that exact text. Outcropping of white stones. On a card. And if I can do that, then the Erky's map thing triggers. So I'm just looking real quick. I also have to find Liaku the Dryad, which I hope I didn't miss. It's one of my my quests for my peeps. Yeah, I certainly don't think I found the outcropping of white stones. Okay, we didn't spend any stamina or anything to get here. So I think we could just keep going. What am I at? I'm at 30 minutes. So not too long in the video. Let's go explore this. And if it's not what I think it is, we may have more exploring to do, but let's just start with what we know. So the first things first is clear. Then I'm going to cut through the field. And that requires a stamina. So give me a second. Alright. Ranger down to 1, Rogue down to 2, 1, and then 1. I desperately need to get my stamina up, but it was the smartest thing ever to get the hit points up, though, because that made us a lot more survivable. And then we're going to go through the grass for the first time. We're cutting through the grass. And the grass is actually clear, even though there's a growling stomach. Maybe because we can forage for food or something. So oh, and look at that. That's the Singing Fields, which was exactly what I thought it was. They are what we thought they were. They were what they thought. So I'm here, Forces of Nature. Travel to Singing Fields, then shuffle Travel 90 in the top 2 of the travel deck. Place Big 90, and then we're going to do a fight. So the Singing Fields is where it's at, folks. There's also a Med 7 map. So there's a lot of things to unlock here. So the Medium 7 map, I pulled it out. We're not going there yet. But you can see that there's the music of the field is beautiful and a little unnerving. And then I did look at the map already. It's just an open field, but look, there's more exploration. And there's these dragging marks. So there's going to be a combat or something if I keep going. Something happened here. I don't think we have a quest to figure that out just quite yet, but I'm going to leave this out because as soon as we're done with this hunting quest, we might do exactly that. So I got to get out the Travel 90 card. I believe it's the same card we had before. It's the tracking card. And then shuffle into the top 2 of the deck. So I'm just taking the top 2 from the deck. I'm not shuffling the whole deck. So these are the top 2, and then this is the culprit, and I'm trying not to look, and I'm just moving them around on the table here. And then yeah, we basically got to travel through the grass twice, or possibly 3 times, because the habitat is grassland. So we got to go through the grass, and we're trying to defeat the foes, and then we have to go back to Felsworn Village again. And when we do the loot, we resolve the loot and resolve the foe's event immediately after combat, and then gain the reward below when you complete the job. Okay, so here's the 3 cards. I'm going to just lay them there. And there's grass everywhere, so we can just explore. I mean, why not? This is where I think the other one is. So we're going to head to that one first. So let's do that. And we got Sore Feet. I am going to pay the 1 because I want to be able to explore. So the Hunter is down to 0. The Mage is to 0. And the Cleric is to 0. So we at least got this one to reveal. And it's the Green Deeps. That is definitely not what I was expecting. And look at that, there's a big 2. And I see some white crystal there. I see some white crystal there, folks. Alright, I won't get out that big 2 map, but the problem is my eyesight. It's written there, but it's so tiny. I gotta remember that that's a map we have not yet explored. And so is that one. So these 2 have maps we have not yet explored. Now, what I could do is explore one more time and get this to reveal. Or, because this is a grass travel, try to go here because that gets me closer to Felsworn, so I don't have to travel so far to get back after the battle. I don't know which one's the better move here. So I think I'm going to do the Explorer one more time. Let's go for it. And so that's this one. 50-50, folks. It's a mite peckish. So I would have to spend points again to be able to explore. And I have 3 of them that are out of points. So I'm going to use 2. These are the ones that replenish for free. And those came off of the koi knapsack, and then I got one more knapsack here. That one costs a coin to replace. So, but I'm going to do it. I have to replenish 3 of them, and then now the rogue is out of points as well. So everybody's out of points. And there's the Fern Valley, and you can see there's another map unlocked. And I probably moved a little too deep into the grass, but it is nice to at least have those explored. Speaking of the jobs, remember we had a chance to do other jobs? Singing reeds is what I needed to be looking for, and singing fields is here, but not singing reeds. So this singing reeds, we don't know where that is, actually. We still haven't found that one. Oh no, look, singing fields right there. So that is the home of both jobs. The job we're doing right now, the hunting one, and then this one here, which just gets you some money. So that's an easy job to get now. We got that location figured out. The other one for tonics and herbs, we have to find that other city first. Then we're going to do some kind of cart quest. All right, so for the last one, we are traveling to here, which is good because it at least gets us closer to where we need to go. And we know it's the tracking quest. And look at that, I have to spend 1 and check endurance or wisdom. Ooh, this is a problem because I'm completely out. So I got to use my last cube from my knapsack. I do have wisdom 3, so I'm going to do a wisdom check. And here we go. And I rolled an 8. So I need a 12. Now I do have a 3, and it gets me to 11. And so I will use the RP point to get to the 12 that I need. And then we're going to go ahead and do the hunt. Alright, so that's done. Go to hunt, and then basically it's the symbol for refiling the card, which is true, because you come here, you get your travel 90, and then you... Now this could be a big mistake on my part, because this is an expansion pack, remember? And I don't know if this is like, you know, should we do this early or should we be doing this later? No clue. But we do know we got a combat coming up, so I'm going to get this out of here. Move it up. And then we're going to get Big 90. It's like I'm hailing a truck. Breaker, breaker, Big 90. And I don't know why I don't have Big 90 in my active. That's right, it's Big 90 and it's like the different terrains. That's right. So this terrain is the road. We're not doing that one. Mountain. Flowers. Here we go, grass. Tall grass. And by the way, if you're going through your thing, this is all you see, right? Because everything is inside the case, and you're going through your file. You see Big 90, and then right there, that's a picture of grass. That's how I knew. And then of course, if you draw it out the rest of the way, you'll see tall grass. So it says tall green blades surround you, obscuring your view on every side. And then here is the battleground. Pretty cool looking. There's some solid black lines. And solid black lines is a wall. So you can't go through walls. So basically, This is so thick you can't even get into these bushes. Alright, but let's so it's telling us that each exile chooses to start on K or Y. So we got K over here and Y up here. And then it says place foe 720 on X, which is here. And I do believe I get to look at what foe 720 is first before I make that decision on where I start. And 720 does seem large, but this is a expansion. I'm trying to find it. There's a lot of 722s apparently. Alright, 720. 1 of 2. 2 of 2. It is a boss. I did see that. I didn't look at it close enough yet, but it is a boss called the Kel Elementalist. It's figure 720. Wind whips around this mage as he waves his staff. His tongue is lolling out as he grins gleefully. I don't know if I'm ready for this guy. Oh my gosh, look. 1, 2, 3, 4 armor. 1,000,000 hit points. I mean, he is just one guy. I say that carefully. Alright, I put him over here. And so at least it's within view. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 armor. Oof. Oof. That is not good, folks. Not good. Alright, 720. I think actually that's in the expansion box. I need to go there. Oh, that's small bodies. Oh! Figure 720 is sitting right over here. Because yes, it was in the expansion box. It's this guy. He's a little dude. Sitting here on X. I love the painting. Painted miniatures rock. I know I said that 100 times. I'll say it 100 more. Because the Far Off Games does a fantastic job, and I love that philosophy of his. Yeah, I mean, that looks nice. I'm sure some people that do it at home can do a better job, but for a manufactured item, I'm very pleased with that. And yeah, anyways. Okay, so it's the Kel Elementalist. He's got 1,000,000 hit points. As you can see, he has... you get blown around and you take 4 damage. Each exile in range 3 takes 2 damage. Oh my gosh. This is horrible. Absolutely horrible. So what this means is I gotta kill this guy as quickly as possible. When this foe is wounded, place it 2 squares away from the attacker in a traversable square. And let's see, for blink reflex, what does away mean? From the source of the damage. If there are multiple valid destinations, players choose. If an exile occupies K, L, M, Y, Z, do they get blown away or stay still? They're blown clockwise to the next point. Okay, that I would have assumed the case, but okay, we got a very nasty fight on our hands. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to switcheroo these guys, and that one there. So we're going to do 2 and 2. The whole tornado thing is what's going to cause the problems, because we're going to get whipped back to the outer edge of the map. Only some of our guys are melee, so that's a little helpful. If this guy does get pushed away from us, I want to have traps in place to help ruin his day. We got to hit him, and hit him hard. The only good news is that it's just him. I'm not saying that I mean, you know, before it was the rat, the mother rat, and, you know, 4 little rats, and, or, you know, the halfling and the 2 minions. Because some of these cards don't say boss on them. they say minion, and so that means that the boss is not going to always take action every single round, and that's where we got to just basically pound on him. But we're also completely out of stamina points, and this is a map where we're going to have to constantly move around the map, and so it's possible we're going to be like a million miles away from him. And I mean, look at this spot here. That's a wall, so we have to run around the wall just to get to him. That's brutal if we're on M. So all right, let's go ahead and get started. As usual, it's always the hunter that goes first. So I'm going to put this a little over here so it's more in camera view, and then we'll just draw these cards up here. And the first one is he just gets 2. I say that lightly, but it does mean I get to at least take a shot. So I'm going to do a basic move, 1, 2, and then you can see I'm 1, 2, 3, 4 away, so he's in range. I am going to put Mark on him because I desperately need Mark. I am going to do my this, which gives me 2 points of this, and then 1 for the move. I'm basically going all in. He's a very tough boss, or he looks tough. I don't think there's a follow-up fight, and after I'm done, we're going back to town. So I'm just spending all my skills. So we did the dependable skill, and now we're going to I think I'm actually going to do the snipe skill, so I got to move up 1 more to do that. This is snipe, and you can see that's armor piercing, and then depending on what I roll, I can do multiple other damages, and I think I really like that idea because I want to armor pierce, and possibly it looks like I can possibly get some crit in if I do it right. So we're going to do exactly that. Now that costs 3 of the skill, which does ruin it for the rogue. I think at this point I'm not going to worry about the rogue too much. Yeah, this is worth it. So I'm going to roll now, and I do have the RP point that I could spend. Oh, one other thing. This, when we were back in town, this sells for 1. This sword sells for 1. And then I have a old med kit and a weak helm that this sells for 1, and that sells for 1 as well. So we sold 4 things to get $4. Give me a second. I gotta now put all these things away. Some of these are class specific, so I gotta get out their class boxes. So when their mom picks them up, they can see what kind of paintings they did in kindergarten. Alright, and then this one is just a generic. I don't know where to store the generic, so I'm just going to set it off to the side for now. And yes, now back to the regular scheduled programming. Alright, so this roll, I need it to go high. High, baby. Let's go. High tide. High tide. And of course I roll a freaking 4. I mean, I definitely hit, but a 4 is worthless. So I am not next to the mage, so I won't be able to use the potion to reroll. The mage has these elixirs. So I do 1 damage, but I guess the good news, like, look at this. If I would have hit that and gone up here, it would have crit. Or hit this and gone that way, I would have crit and hit both of those spots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this spot right here, and it does remove the blue cube and damage it because it pierced. Now I have Mark, so I'm going to spend a mana. I'm down to 2, and deal 1 more, and it is a targeted hit. So I can pick anywhere, and I'm going to pick down here. Like that. Trying to avoid places that could get hit with crits and stuff. So we got 2 hits on him. That was a horrible roll. Somebody had mentioned to me just today that the RNG can be bad, and that is it. And I was ready to use skills and all kinds of stuff to re-roll dice, or to boost the dice, and that is not to be. So I do have one more attack I can do, and I will do that, but it's going to be a regular bow attack, and I'm going to use the quiver, I believe. So I can either come down from the top or use the quiver to go up from the bottom. The quiver does add 1 range, so actually I'm going to save the quiver because I may need that 1 range later if this guy starts blowing us around and all that stuff. So let's get one more attack in. I need a place to roll that's not going to move stuff here, so let me move this out of the way. Now I get that 17. If I would have rolled that last time, that would have been amazing. So this is a regular bow attack. A 17 is 2 hits coming from the top. So if we look at our guy here, this one would work. If I come from the top, I'm just looking at other opportunities. Yeah, I like that one. So coming from the top, I just remove the shield on this one. I critically strike that one, and I hit this one. But that top one stays there, and then I'm going to spend another mana point. I'm down to 1, and I'm going to finish off where that shield was. So, just one character, 1, 2, 3, 4, we got 5 damage on him. I mean, this guy's killable, but that whole tornado thing is going to be nonsense. Okay, next up is the rogue, which stinks because I need combo points, and I can't generate any to go hidden, at least. So I won't be able to lay my traps right away, but let's see what he does. The boss is activating, and I'm going to zoom it out. He has 2 of these points, and you can see that for 1 point, he's going to do a Zephyr +1. That Zephyr is each exile in 3 range takes 2 damage. It's a magic attack. And then the Zephyr +1 is 3. So, so I just spend 1 of those threat points. And it says he's going to move to the furthest away. The furthest away are these 2. So he would move to be within 3. He would move all the way to there. 1, 2, 3, right? And yeah, so he's going to do 3 damage to both of them. And there's nothing they can do. There's no armor. Or no, hold on. There is a die roll. He rolls the gray die. So, forgive me for that. So we're going to roll this gray die. And it is the arm on the right side here. So if you look on the rogue, we actually have that. Oh, we should have repaired our armor back in town. The repair armor would have cost us... Give me a second. That's the outer market, Felsworn Village. 1 money, so I'll spend the $1. And then he would have healed 7. We're going to put 1 there, because that's what gets hit. And then for the mage, there's no armor. But all of these orange tokens should be gone. That was just something I forgot to do. This absorbs 2 damage. It's doing how much again? 3 damage. So 1 damage gets through. So he's down to 4 health. Now the mage, all of it gets through, and it's down to 1 health. That took 3 damage. That was not cool. Alright, so now the rogue gets to go. And like I said, there's no combo points, so I don't have... I don't have the ability to go in silent or hidden mode. I can do a basic move, yes, but then that sort of takes away. So I can basic move and just attack with the dagger. I'm not going to be hidden, but I could still get 2 attacks in. I'm not going to try pickpocketing. We're going to just kill the guy this time. Let's not goof around for the money. The backstab, though, lets me armor pierce. So I can backstab once, or I can attack regular twice. Those are my 2 options. If I backstab, it's a attack that goes from the top down, and it can hit possibly 3 spaces. I'm going to do exactly that. We're going to do a move, which generates a combo point, and then we're going to spend a combo point to go hidden. I am not going to get to drop my traps, but I am going to backstab this guy. And I'm going to go, let's see, 1, 2, I guess that's all the further I can go. We're going to backstab this guy. So, here we go. Rolled an 8. Now, because I'm hidden, the backstab costs 1 mana. I get to add plus 20 to the roll. I guess I could have done it without being hidden. It just means I would have hit once. I didn't need to hide. Well, I'm committed. 20 to the roll, because I actually like this idea. Because 20 to the roll means 28, and it means I'm going to hit 3 spaces. So I'm going to come down this way. So the first hit is going to be right here. The second hit's going to armor pierce this. And get that one. And then the third hit... Actually, I thought I was going to get to crit something, but I'm not. That would have critted something if I went this way. But the third hit's going to be here. And according to the card... that causes him to gain a threat, so he's back up to 2. But we did get 3 hits on him. That part's nice. I mean, and we took out another one of his armor. But yeah, I only got to do it once. So turnover. The mage is in a little bit of trouble. The mage is next, so let's see what he does. He is going to trigger again. He has 2 threat, so he's going to once again do his Zephyr plus 1. And he wants to get the foes that are furthest away, so he has 5 movement points, and he hits anybody that's 3 spaces away. So this time he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then he hits both of them, which I do appreciate, because that's going to be how we're going to beat him. He's mixing, going back and forth, and here you can see it's right smack in the chest for 3 damage. And so we start with this guy. And we take a hit in the cloak. That absorbs 2 of the damage. And then 1 hit point down. And then we go to the cleric. That one only absorbs 1 damage. So the cleric loses 2 health, but has 5 left. Alright, and then it's the mage's turn. So this guy's far away from the mage, but the mage is going to go ahead and do a basic move. Spend 1, and go 1, 2, 3, and he's 1, 2, 3, 4 away from there, and when all else fails, fireball. Oh, we don't have that yet, so lightning bolt. So he's going to use a mystic skill to make it free, so we don't have to pay the mana. And remember, it does 2 damage, and it's coming from the right, east to west, so we got to apply the damage this way. And this is interesting, but I'm going to apply it on the bottom here, so that allows me to hit here, and then you just keep going to the left and hit there, like so. Then I'm going to go again, and I'm going to spend 2 mana, go down to 3, and we're going to attack again, and it's from the right to the left. So I'm going to take 2 more of these, and I'm going to put one here and another one there, and that causes him to gain 1 threat. and then the mage is done. Alright, so it is now the cleric's turn. We draw the card. The boss activates again. Now there's only one threat this time, but one is all he needs. So he'll spend the one, and he's going to go back the other way again. And he's 1, 2, 3 away from both of them, and attack them again. This time it's in the chest. So if we look at the rogue, a chest shot in a rogue does get blocked at least a little. So that absorbs 1 hit, and the rogue takes 2 more hit points, so he's down to 2. And then the mage has chest armor that absorbs 2 of it, but the mage is KO'd. And I just forgot, the mage could have healed himself, but that was a minor action. Yeah, I can't do it. So mage goes down. I did the lightning bolt twice, so yeah, nothing I can do about that. Oh, the mage had one more thing to sell. These practice pants. Practice pads. So I do get $1 back. Okay, cleric gets to go. So I'm gonna do a basic move, which is 1, 2, 3. It gives us a point, and I'm still a lot of spaces away. Actually, I'm gonna backtrack a little. I don't have stamina, so I can't do form up. That would have allowed him and somebody else to move 3 spaces and gain stratagem. Pay the cube, gain 1. Any exile within 3 heals 1, and then shift a creature. Oh, I keep forgetting. Whenever he gets hit, he gets moved 2 squares away. I don't think it matters, folks. But just a reminder, you're supposed to move him every time he gets hit because he shifts. But he goes after who's the furthest away from him, which could theoretically mean that he's going to go after whoever just hit him last. Right now he's been bouncing back and forth. I think we're okay. He still would have bounced back and forth. It's just that he might have attacked the same group more than once, based on how you shift him. And accept my apologies there. We will do it right now. So the problem is 1, 2, 3. He's 4 away. So I'm going to have to do another action to move again. So I'm going to move 1, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, like that. And then finally I can use my stratagem, which will gain us another 1, so we're up to 4. And then I heal just 1 health on the mage, and I get to shift a creature 2 squares. So I honestly don't know what good that does for me. This guy tends to go after whoever's furthest away, so I'm going to go ahead and shift it 2 spaces that way. So that way he goes after the ranger. Beyond that, I don't have an answer. So, unfortunately for the cleric, I was able to just get close enough to heal this guy 1 health point. I am not able to do anything else. I can't use my kit. I can't use my potions. Nothing. So it is the ranger's turn. I did stand him back up though, which is good. The ranger gives him 1, which gives us a reprieve. Ranger's going to move 1, 2, 3. So that gives us another point. We're up to 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 away. He's in the range of the bow. And we're going to send 3 to do the snipe action. To do the snipe action, I need to be 1, 2, 3 away here. So I needed to move 1 more point. The snipe action would kill the armor. That's the reason why I would want to do the snipe action. I don't know if I want to waste another movement just to do that. Nope, I'm just going to do regular attack. And we're going to do it twice. So he's 4 away. That's in range. I'm going to do the quiver of practice. No, I'll just attack from the top down. Oh, and I miss. So what happens if I mean, I know it's an automatic miss, but does the enemy get something? Check fails. Yeah, that's okay. So, and then I'm going to attack again. This time I got an 8. I need a 12. The endurance puts it to a 10. And then, yeah, I'll spend an RP point to get it to 12, so we're going to hit twice. And the attack goes from top down, so I'm going to hit here, which is going to give him a threat point. And then I'm going to take off the armor, and then I'm going to spend my last mana to get one more hit in, and I'm going to hit him in the armor. He has just 1 hit point left. But unfortunately, his Zephyr is going to hit all of us now, because we're all together, so it's not good. Alright, so it's the Rogue's turn, and thankfully he gets 2 points, and that's what I needed. So the Rogue is right next to him, and we do have the ability to go silent, and so I'm going to spend 1 point to get sneaky on him, and then just move, around like this. And then I am going to backstab him, and this should be game over. Look at that. I rolled a nat 20. What happens when I roll a nat 20 in combat? I gain 2. I want to do that in the adventure, because then I get to get those extra cards. But he's obliterated. He only had 1 health point left. So we win. He downed one of us. I did not mess around. That was for certain. He's definitely beatable, folks, but if he would have gone with all these points, he would have done that tornado thing, and I think that would have made our life a lot harder. And just to analyze it, because he never did do the tornado thing, so the tornado would hit everybody. Each exile is blown to the nearest one, so whatever they're closest to, and then takes 4 damage. And now it is a yellow, so you still roll where they get hit, but oh my gosh, that would be horrible. Oh, and just remember, when he gets hit, he does get moved 2 squares away, so when the archer hit him, I would have moved him like, blah blah, and then the instead of the rogue going this way, the rogue would have, gone hidden and went here. I still would have killed him. I forgot the entire battle to move this guy, to blink him every time I hit him. Again, my apologies. I got a million things going on in my head, worrying about the recording and making sure that the camera's not screwing up and my voice is not, stuttering like it did in the previous videos. Yeah, it's just a brain fart thing. But the thing is the blink wouldn't have mattered too much. So, anyways, it's done. And let's deal with this. So we defeat all foes. We got to travel to Fellsworn. And then we loot. Resolve the foe's event immediately after combat. Gain the reward below when you complete the job. So I don't get to complete the job yet, but I do get to gain the reward, which is this one. It says event 720. So let's do that. Event 720. Out of breath. The mage hits the ground, the wind knocked out of it. You approach with caution, kicking away its staff. After a minute, it sits up slowly. Ho har! Strong you are, stronger than Kel with the power of wind. Kel is impressed, so don't be distressed. The damage Kel will rescind. Kel will use wind magic to help you. He's like speaking like Yoda. Keep this card in the party inventory. He's agreed to help you in combat. Next time combat begins, Kel joins you. He stays until you leave that location. When combat starts, place Kel adjacent to an exile. Kel is a creature, but not a foe or exile. Exiles and foes May move through but not end on Kel. Free action. Once per exile turn, place Kel on a traversable square in 3 range. Free action. Once per exile turn, spend 1 to push any creature up to 3 squares in a cardinal direction. Then all foes in 2 spaces of Kel take 1 damage. When you leave the location where Kel joined you, and you didn't flee round 1, trash this card and add Job 721 to the deck. Next time combat begins, he stays and helps you. When you leave the location where Kel joined you, and you didn't flee round 1, discard this card. So we don't add 721 until he helps us in the next combat. He could be helping us in the crass combat of all time. But that's alright. I will keep it. We shall use it, and he's going to help us at least for 1 battle. So I will set all that to the side. I don't need this. It doesn't look like he takes any damage. He's just basically a force on the field that's going to cause mayhem. He's a car insurance commercial. Okay, foe 720. And then we would unlock the next job as part of the expansion pack after he helps us. So there's a bit of a delay here because I got to get another combat in before I even see what the next job is, and that's fine. Okay, this is done. We got to get back to town. Bear with me, I got to put this away. Big 90. I'm not going to call it active because the big 90s are weird. So I'm just going to put it back with the other ones. Okay, moving stuff around again. Bringing this back. Making Arydia great again. Alright, I believe we were moving... Yeah, we moved that way, so I gotta do one more grass movement to get back to town. And the grass does nothing, which was amazing. Now I'm gonna go through the field. And the field requires us to flip this over, which I will gladly do. And then I'm going to go down the road to get into town. And the road does nothing. And there we are. We're in Felsworn Village. So, alright, we resolved the event. But now we get to do the loot at the bottom because we're back to Felsworn to claim our reward. So the loot, first of all, is 3 money. Then we're going to roll a die to see if we get more money. And I rolled a nat 20, which is fantastic. So that means we get to unlock another card. So I could do Threat 77 or Travel 77. The Travel 77 is nice, but I'm going to grab Threat 77 this time. So we have one of each. Because a threat, when we're in the middle of battle and we draw one of those cards, that is fantastic. So, and remember, the game said that there's 3 Threat 77s. And here we go. Luck of the battlefield. Your enemies falter and you spring into action. Active player gets to choose -2, +2, or heal 2 for everybody. How fantastic is that? That is amazing. And you do draw again, though. But that's alright. Now that says index the card and then draw again. Indexing is different than keeping. Actually, this one says the same thing, index. So I gotta look up what index means, because maybe, so are these really just one-time use? Why do they give you 3 copies? Like, does this guy think I'm going to roll nat 20s all day long? 1 second. Okay, my worst fears are true. Index means it goes back into the index. So the luck of the road, which we drew earlier, I think in the last video, I don't get to keep this. So I gotta decide, am I going to put this one out or this one? Which is more important? Both of them get indexed, so they're one-time uses. This one forces me to draw again, so it's going to help me in battle. I mean, the heal might... This would be better if I can control when it happens. Because I can't control when it happens, I might draw this in the beginning of battle, which I would clearly take that instead. But this could be like a lifesaver if, you know, it was at the end. I honestly, I'm going to take Luck of the Road again, and I'm not going to take the threat one. Just because the threat one, I can't control when I draw it, so I'm not sure how helpful that is. Now, I was getting excited because I thought, you know, these were going to be permanently a part of the deck, but they're not. They go back into the index, which means you put them back in the deck where their number is. So this 20 roll was for the loot. I was rolling to see how much money I'm getting, so I know I'm getting 3, and then I was rolling here and I rolled a 20, which means we get one of the treasures. So I'm going to just get 3 money, and I don't get 1 or 2 more money, but I have a charisma check now that per my skill, since this is a job, if I would have gotten a 20 or better, I get 2. So I got a 12. And my charisma is 2. That puts me to 14. I need to get a 20. I can get to 17, but I am not going to do it. So I get 1 extra money. So I get 4 instead of 3, which is not bad. I am not going to arm wrestle that halfling ever again. Alright. So I just got $4 for Dara. And now I'm going to... We're going to roll and get something out of this chest. And 18 is way too high. How many items are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 items. I'm going to at least do times 2. So a 1 to a 16 will get me an item. I got an 11, which is the equivalent of... So if I go to 8, 9, 10, 11 would be this one. We got another potion. This one heals 2 health, if you'll notice. So I'm going to go ahead and just give that to the thief. So the thief can heal 2. And so now I got potions on the cleric, potions on the mage, and potions on the thief. The thief actually has the best potions now. The problem with the potions is it's a minor action to use them, so you know, it's nice to heal people, but you're giving up either moving or attacking to do it. Okay, let's keep going. We gained 2 experience points. So we're going to be at our 7. We're actually at 8. And so I'm looking at my situation here. There is a 5er I can grab, which I could just have a 5 and a 3, right? But we're going to spend 7 to level up. So I'm going to try to be smart about this. I don't know if there's enough tokens to be smart about this. I do see there's at least 1 more. Yeah, there's enough. Okay, I got 1 set. 1, 2. I am literally taking the last of the tokens. It's the last of the Mohicans. Last of the Mo-tokens. That was a good movie. It's a sad movie, but it was a good one. Alright. So the way I'm doing this is we're going to put it like this, because now I can just spend 3, 6, 7 when we level up, and then that's going to stay. And I got enough that we can do this to everybody. And again. And then last but not least, like so. Alright, is there anything else I need to do with this? Now I'm going to trash this card. We don't unlock 721 until he helps us with combat. I mean, it's a little silly, but I like... The designer is doing cool things. None of this is... Like, even though I call it silly, it doesn't mean it's stupid, or... Like, silly is not, a criticism. It's just, the fact that he's only helping us for one combat, I don't even have control over which combat that is. Like, I would have liked it to be more... I'm going to save this for when I'm fighting the boss. I might just encounter 2 rats, which are easy to kill in my next combat, and then, I got Mr., Tornado, Fireball, coming out, and it's a bit overkill. Alright, I could... I'm looking at my damage. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And remember, it costs 1 money to do, but if I get back to the exile camp, I get to do market action once per day for free, and he repairs 5. Also, this is the only place I can level up. I can't level up at Felsworn. So I do have to get back to the camp anyways. Now, one thing I can do is I can sell my items, which I did, but I do need to purchase, fill the potions, which costs 1. Fill potions in the knapsacks. Actually, this knapsack here fills for free at Felsworn. So we got these 2, but this one here costs money. So I'm going to have to spend $2 to do that, and I will. Alright, so we got all of our stamina things refilled. These stamina things aren't, that costs me a lot of money to use. If I level up and I have a lot more stamina than just 2, which, hint, hint, is might be what we're going to do, because this is where we're suffering, right? I may never need to use that again, because having that one there just gives me 2 free stamina. That's great, but, like, I might have plenty to go around now that I survived. Okay, so let's get to the exile camp. So I gotta go down the road like a drifter. I was born to walk alone, and this one was already flipped over. So so it says I'm going to add threat 90 to the bottom of the threat deck. And if there's no copies left to add, every exile is going to lose 2. But just understand that when you rest, I could spend my tokens to get my my stamina, but when you sleep, you draw a day card, whole party replenishes, shuffle travel deck, refresh travel tokens. The Felsworn Village, the inn there removes 1 threat 90. So that's the problem. I have no stamina. Look, it just cost me $1 to rest at Felsworn. So I'm going to spend the 1. So we're going to be fully rested up. Let's heal. Get all of our mana, all of our stamina. Travel deck, everything replenishes. I gotta quit being stingy for $1. And this... Alright, so with the action that just happened, this would have flipped over. And then now we're going to move through the grass. And through the grass, we see the circles, and then we're going to draw again. and through the grass. The star is going to flip over, and then we're going to take the road. And the road is the backpack thing, but we're going to spend the stamina, and then we're going to rest again at Exile Camp. So it doesn't matter. I'm not going to spend the point. But it does mean I'm going through the day deck twice. So one at Fellsworn Village, right? And then one more time at the Exile Camp. But before we do that rest, I am using the armor action first. And we're also going to level up. Alright, so armor action is done. Let's get to the most wonderful time of the year, level up time. Okay, so let's start with the Ranger, of course. We're up to 7, and as you can see, this is a reminder we're going to draw an event. So, what event would that be? It is written here. When you gain level 3, draw event. It looks like 903. The paths. Thades walks up after your last training session. Your skills have grown since the hunt began. I can see all your hard work on display. Come with me. Thades leads you to a large chest. We don't have much, but I'd like you to take something from the guild cache. You've earned it. Once for the whole party, draw up to 3 items from the chest. Keep 1 item and return the others. And then there's things that are going to happen, so I'm going to... Our chest does not have a lot of items in it. In fact, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 items in the chest. So, doing a times 2. So if I go to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, this is 12. 1, 2, 3. I'm down to 4 now, or 5. So 5 times 4. That would be this one. So there you go. There's 3 of the items. And we get to keep 1. So this would be a worn knapsack that replenishes 2 energy instead of 1. That's a nice upgrade if I'm going to use it. It still costs money to replenish. This one is a nice armor that absorbs 2 on the left side. I think that's the one I'm taking. I don't need the baseball bat or the club. That does me no good. I actually would have liked that one, but the armor is the better deal. And we're going to go ahead and put this on somebody. And I'm going to put it on, because guess who gets down a lot? This dude. So we'll give it to him. Okay, we're not done. The Path of Valor, Path of Shadow. So we get DOS SH3. I see. We're going to get new classifications. Bear with me, a lot of stuff to go through. So SH3, if I can find it, I know I'm on the right one, it's just there's so many of them. There we go, I just found it. As soon as I lifted up the camera, it helped me to focus. Alright, so DOS SH3 is, I'm now a lurker, or the Fellish is now a lurker. So let me So it was a scamp, right? So it went from scamp and is now a lurker, right? And then the next one, Path of Light, L13, is now the healer. I gotta reach across the table here. What was he before? He was the soother before. Now he's the healer. This whole thing is, this is silly. Now, this might be silly in a little bit of a condescending way. Like, in some ways it's cool, but, I mean, these are components that you have to pay for. And all it does is just give you a new title. Wandering, WA3, and Arcana AR3. I found them both. I'm going to grab them both here. Okay, so the Evoker and the Tracker. I mean, it is thematic. I mean, if I was playing a video game, you know, you're basically leveling up your class, right? So you started out as a soother in your healing class, right? Now you're a healer because you've made it to level 4. You replace your old path rank with the new one, and then trash this card. So, card is officially trashed. Right, and then let me do that. So he went from Scout to Tracker, and Scholar to Evoker. Okay. Next. Actually leveling up. So right now, he has 5 hit points. He would just go to 6. That's not a good move. Right now he has 3 mana. He would go to 5. That's a better move. But 2 stamina would jump to 4. So now this is the tricky part. Because if I wait one more time, I can get to 5 and get a nice 3-point jump. But then I'm only getting a 2-point jump on the mana, which is not horrible. But I'm not running out of mana right now. So I am going to take the stamina jump. And so I'm going to go from a 2 to a 4. And that's easy enough. So we're going to just go ahead and move this up to here. And then 2 more stamina points means the world. I mean, when we're doing all these exploring, look, there's not that many places to explore. And if there's another city that we can rest in, that's even better. Now we get to do one of these skills. I'm at Endurance 2 right now. I can jump to Endurance 4, which is what this character needs. Or I can take a Strength and go to Strength 4 from 0, right? There's potential here. You know, like when the guy did the shout, you had to do a Wisdom check, right? So I can go to Wisdom 4, and now I can, you know, have a better shot at resisting the shout. It's a tough. It's really difficult to know. Actually, both of his weapons use endurance, so I am going to upgrade the endurance again. We're going to go to 4. So endurance 4 instead of 2. That adds +4 to his die rolls. That's pretty good. And then next time he levels up, we can just add something else or make the charisma better or whatever. Because I don't think, you know, endurance 5 versus a 4 is not that big a deal. A 4 versus a 2, it's better. And I'm going to be using this 10 times more than I'm going to use the other ones. So yeah, I'm gonna do it, even though I don't like the small bumps. Okay, with that being said, we got to get another skill, and I have a choice. I'm looking over here at fire arrow or harpoon arrow. So, nope, I can't get harpoon arrow. I can only get fire arrow. So we're going to do that. And guess what? I'm going to all of a sudden need mana big time if fire arrow is the next one. So right here, as a normal action, while two foes are adjacent to each other and in bow range, succeed at endurance 14, which that's simple enough. I can do that. And what does the skill do? Choose a corner in bow range. Foes adjacent to that intersection. So you choose like a spot, and then all the foes that are around that spot take damage. And it does cost 2 mana. So I was just talking about I don't need mana, and there it is. I need 2 mana for that. But at least the first time I use it, it won't. I do think that configuration is going to be difficult to have the foes all around a single spot like that. It may be good if you're going up against a horde of something, but I still, that was the skill I was gunning for. It was the fire arrow. If I went the harpoon arrow, which was the other option, I actually got to go back to the start and get new skills again. All right, so I'm full up. The ricochet has not been a very useful one yet, so you know I may have to start deciding not to use some of these, but that's okay. Per the rules, that's totally fine. So I did something with his deck. Here we go. And then we get the fire arrow skill. Let me grab that. Actually, we got the ricochet skill and the fire arrow. I never grabbed the ricochet. And yeah, there's FAQs and all this stuff with it. Okay. That guy's done. And this goes to level 4. I didn't even remember to upgrade that last time. So we're level 4. No, we're level 3. What am I talking about? Yeah, because that's a level 0. 1, 2, 3. We're level 3. And level 3 gives you a plus 4. That's what was throwing me off. But we are level 3, which is good. Alright, next up is the Fellish. Upgrade to level 3. And then if I Okay. So I got this, and currently we're at 5 health. That would only go up to 6. We're at 3 mana. That would jump only to 4 mana. So it would only go up by 1. So we're going to, but the stamina is at 3. And that would jump to 5. So I think that's the better move. And we will do that. I know it's only a 2 bump, but everything else was worse. So we're going to go ahead and do that. As you can see, the dexterity is already at a plus 3, We're going to do Charisma 4 because we're basically flip-flopping on these skills. So we at least get a bump of 2 each time we level up. And this one does use Charisma, so that's not a bad deal. And then I have unlocked Trap Expert, which is the big one I was going for here. Have 2 more trap tokens trigger on the same foe turn. And when that happens, while adjacent to an ally or obscure border, sneak costs 0. That's going. And you may place or refresh traps at range 2. This is huge because the sneak costing 1 is costing me every battle. So I just gotta be able to get both of my traps to trigger at the same time. Sometimes that's easier said than done. But I like that skill. That was a good one. Being able to place traps 2 spaces away going to be much more powerful. It's actually very restrictive the way it is. Okay, so now we're up to the mage. And again, I'm just going through and updating the little things. The mage would go up 1 hit point to 5. The mana is at 5 currently. It would jump 2 to 7, and then 2 to 4 on the stamina. I am definitely doing stamina because, yeah, the running out of stamina thing stinks, and getting 2 more stamina feels like it's just right. It's sort of like the porridge. The porridge at the house. Okay, so what am I going to level up, though? The wisdom is 3, so yeah, we're going to do intelligence and get it to 4. So intelligence 4. That was an easy decision. And then we come over to here. Actually, what I really wanted to show you, I'm getting tired, so I am going to wrap it up as soon as we're done leveling here. In order to get Fireball, I have to unlock all 3 of these skills, and then those 2. So this one gets unlocked now, and it's Swirling Winds. Shift a foe with Twin Missile twice in 1 turn. I have no intention of unlocking that one, but we have it now. We have never used Twin Missile, not even once. So I think I have a feeling which ones are going to get overwritten and go away. Excuse me. Then last and not least, we have Ingot up here. I do have to reach very far. Here we go. And 7 experience points. Alright. All that gone. Now we go to Mr. Gruff McGruff, who fights crime. What's he going to level up? We're going to do Strength, because we're going back and forth here. He's at Wisdom 3, so we're going to go to Strength 4. Because remember, he's still our melee attacker. And then the 3rd skill in the tree is Bestiary. He has to go to Keepwick, which is the town we haven't found yet, and pay 5. He can pay a cube to do -2 to their threat and +2 to our... I actually really like that, and it only refreshes every night, so we can just use the skill. I mean, how amazing. That's a really nice one. It does cost 5 to unlock, and we have to find a town we haven't found yet. But, yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Now, what's he going to unlock skill-wise? 1 second, I'm still reaching across the table here. So, he has 7 health. He would only bump to 8. No good. He's currently on 2 mana, he would bump to 4, which that's not bad, because he does spend mana on things. But yeah, 2 to 4 on... Why do I go through this? I make the same decision with all of them. We're going to definitely move his stamina up 2. Then maybe the mana will be next and so forth. Alright, so I believe that's everybody. We're full up on skills. Am I having fun? Yeah, I am. I mean, is it the best game in the world? No. Um, I enjoyed the leveling up. Like, what we just went through was a blast. The battle, again, good. And I'm just repeating myself. I haven't changed my opinion about nearly anything. It's a fun little game. I still wish I had somebody else to play it with, so they can control some of these characters and help me with the looking up the index stuff, um, or even trying to interpret like these rules. Um, Beyond that, yeah, it's maybe I could get some more in tomorrow and or throughout the work week. So, anyways, thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome.